What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Sports. It's a Warrior Wednesday, finally. And we have some movement with the Warriors, finally. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Thank you all for supporting the podcast. And come on in, let's talk a little bit about the Warriors. So we have some news. First bit of news is, and it's a little bit old, but we got Al Horford signed. He's a great center to have with the Warriors because he is good with ball movement. He is good about moving around the court. He's not a slow player at all. He's great defensively. He can shoot the ball. I think he's going to work really great in Steve Kerr's offense. Steve Kerr's offense is a hybrid of the famous Bulls triangle offense. And what that means is there's a lot of ball movement. There's a lot of movement around the court. It's a lot of pass and go, a lot of screens. He won't just be sitting under the hoop waiting to get a pass. So he's going to have to be able to be somewhat of a mobile center. That's exactly what he is. And I think he's definitely going to make a big impact with this Warrior team and how they win games going into the next season. But we have a few more, guys. Seth Curry signed with the Warriors, and we thought maybe that would never happen. We got Seth Curry on the Warriors, and now it could truly be a Splash Brothers event going on. If Curry can keep up his shooting the way he has in past years, this could be a very good acquisition for the Warriors. He's a solid player. Is he Steph Curry? Absolutely not. But he is a good, solid player coming off the bench. I think that he can learn a lot from playing next to Steph Curry. So I think that's a pretty big deal. It's a 1-year contract, but there is a possibility for an extension. Let's see if they do that. But, hey, we got Seth Curry for 1 year. I think it's a great move. Gary Payton II was another guy I was really worried about the Warriors losing. Gary Payton II has signed a contract with the Warriors for the next year. And, again, it's a 1-year deal, but great move by the Warriors, I think. He's really great defensively, high energy. He's got a good shot. I do like him off the bench as well. I think this is really strengthening the Warriors bench quite a bit. And then last but not least, or maybe least, depending on how you feel, Jonathan Kuminga finally signed a contract. And it wasn't the 1-year contract we thought. It's actually the 2-year, $48.5 million deal that was on the table. I think they actually upped the deal a couple $1 million to get this thing over with and get Kuminga signed. I honestly was going to be happy with the Warriors trading him, and I thought once that they signed Al Horford, that's exactly what was going to happen. And probably Kuminga thought that too, and I believe Kuminga took the best offer that will help him move his career forward and make more money, and that was to stay with the Warriors, sign the 2-year deal. There are some trade restrictions there, so he's not just going to be trade bait necessarily halfway through the season. He probably will get some say in that. I do still think that he will be possibly a trading piece somewhere in this season. He's not really fitting in with this offense, I have to say. I think it was more of a way to secure not only $48.5 million for himself that maybe he wouldn't have got somewhere else, but also he can kind of dictate where he's traded to, if he's traded. And if he ends up turning the corner finally, then the Warriors have a great asset that they don't necessarily have to trade. So I think it works out for both sides. It should have happened sooner. But hey, 4 players right there, guys, in the last week that will round out this Warriors team. And I think they're very, very good signings for the Warriors. Don't forget, obviously we still have Steph Curry. We still have Draymond Green. We still have Jimmy Butler. Okay? Some of the top best players in this league, veterans that can still possibly bring this Warriors team one more ring before Curry is out the door. And I don't know how long Curry's going to play. Maybe he'll get a few more. I don't know. I suspect that this is his last contract. I kind of feel like Curry might be ready to retire. But I don't know, man. If they get another ring, maybe he'll stick around and see, depending on how good this team is and where it can end up, and obviously his level of play. Either way, guys, this is a good basketball team we're looking at here. If you just look down the roster of players, we've got some good basketball players, guys. I mean, let's just look up the Warriors roster right now. It's pretty deep now. Let's see. So, okay. Steph Curry, Jonathan Kuminga, Al Horford, Jimmy Butler, Seth Curry now, Draymond Green, of course, Gary Payton II. We have Buddy Hield still, who's hot and cold. I'm not sure I'm really sold on Buddy Hield. I thought he was going to be out the door. He's not. That's okay. I do think he stepped up in the playoffs, and that's why he's still on this team. Let's see if he can kind of step up and take the turn and start hitting three-pointers at a regular pace here for this Warrior team, not just every 4 or 5 games. We'll see. I still think off the bench, decent player to have. Brandon Podziemski, I have been saying, and I will keep saying, I think he keeps taking steps forward, and I think that he is a guy that will turn out to be maybe not a superstar, but one of the stars of this league, I think, at some point. He really is taking steps to become better and better every year, and we're talking about year 3, okay? So this guy showed up in the playoffs last year when Curry was out, and no, they didn't win games, but he definitely got the playoff experience, and they definitely benefited from him being out there. I think they would have got blown out by much more if he wasn't out there commanding the court the way he was. Much respect there. Moses Moody is a guy who was kind of lying in the weeds, not playing so good towards the end of the year last year, but let's see what he does this year. I think it was just the funk he was in. I think that coming off the bench, again, a great player to have on your team. Quentin Post here. Guys, Quentin Post is going to be a fantastic center for the Warriors. And when you have him and Horford together, I think that's going to be a really, really great duo for the centerpiece of this Warriors team as far as the center goes. I think those two guys together are going to make some noise. Pat Spencer doesn't look like a basketball player. He doesn't. He just looks like the guy who's playing pickup ball at the local basketball court or park. But you know what? He was sneaky good last year when he was in. He had high energy. He was making an impact for the team. I like it. It's a great asset for the team. I'm glad they still have him. Guy Santos was playing great basketball, and Trace Jackson Davis was playing okay last year. Not great. I think he took a step back, to be honest, and that's why he didn't get as much playing time. But Trace Jackson Davis is still a great basketball player. He's not very fast. I don't think he can move in this offense at the pace that Steve Kerr would like. And so that's why I don't think he was getting as much playing time. But I think he'll get a little bit more this year, depending on how his training camp goes before the start of the season. Let's see. But also a great player to have off the bench. This team is rounded out pretty nicely, guys. I think you're going to see a very, very good Warriors basketball team this year. Remember, once Jimmy Butler got on the team, this team went like 26 they won 26 out of 28 games or something like that, I want to say. So the team is a very, very solid team. What can they do in the playoffs? Well, that really depends on Steph Curry and him staying healthy. So let's see if they ever do some load management with Curry this year. I personally don't like the idea of load management, but with him, maybe it's not such a bad idea. And guys, they have pieces that they could trade halfway through the season. If they look like they just need one more piece to get over the hump to get another ring for Curry this year, they will absolutely do that. And that is where Jonathan Kuminga's contract comes into play, I believe. So look at teams who don't look like they're going to make a big impact this next year halfway through the season or even a quarter of the way through the season to make some moves. You'll see the Warriors out there trying to make moves for some of those players. So no doubt, guys, the Warriors are going to be on the hunt. This is a year that I think, with the players that they have, that they've signed, this is a year that can really go for it. Guys, I'm excited about Warrior basketball. It's coming sooner than I thought. We're well in the swing of Niner football, and of course, Niners lost against the Jags on Sunday. Not super excited about the level of play, but your team can't play amazing every single week out. So they're 3-1, and they got the Rams tomorrow night. So we'll do another podcast either Friday or more likely than not the following Monday, just because I'll be traveling out of town. Guys, this team's looking cool. I gotta say, I was really upset about the lack of movement with the Warriors signing any of the players that I thought they should have gone out and went and traded for. They didn't do that. But look, I like the moves that they made. They retained some players I thought that they should have retained. They got Al Horford and Seth Curry, which I think are good moves. You don't need superstars on this Warrior team. You need guys who are solid basketball players who can support Steph Curry. I wanted to say Seth Curry. Steph Curry in all of this. And that's what they did. They went out there and got solid players who can support Steph Curry going forward throughout the year. I think you're going to see a sneaky good team. It could be a dark horse team again this year that people aren't really looking out for. The rest of the NBA might be even sleeping on them just a little bit. But I think once we watch them play the first 10, 15 games, you're going to see a team that is a very, very solid team, guys. So I'm super excited about it. Anyway, thank you for watching the podcast. Guys, I love you all for watching, supporting the channel. If you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. And, hey, just remember, hard work beats talent when talent don't work. I'll keep working hard for you. You keep working hard and watching the show with me. And, guys, we're up over 10,000 subscribers already. We're at 10,100 subscribers just about. Very excited about the amount of people who are watching this podcast and just want to hear sports for what it is, right? I just do this podcast for the people out there who want to hear the realistic views of what's going on in sports and what's happening and what will happen most likely, not just what you're seeing on TV where they just throw out crazy ideas. Warriors trying to trade for LeBron James this year, last year, year before. I mean, maybe they made a phone call, but it was never realistic. There's so many unrealistic things, guys, that are going on out there that it's just I'm tired of hearing, and I just like talking sports. I like cutting through all the bullshit and just talking sports for what they really are and what we should expect to see happen. And if those things sometimes don't happen, then, hey, maybe it was just a bad decision by the team, or maybe it was just a bad take from my side of it. But most of the time, I like to think that the things that I say are very level-headed and make a lot of sense for what the Warriors and the Niners and the A's and the Giants should be doing as far as moving players or trading for players or signing players, and what you expect out of the performance of these teams more than anything, guys. There are a lot of people out there who are homers who expect the Giants to win all the time and the Niners to win all the time and the Warriors to win all the time. But the fact of the matter is you have to build a team for that team to be good enough to continue to sustain winning. And the Giants are on pace, but they're not going to do it this coming year. They didn't do it last year, I told you. I thought it was going to be 3 years or so before we saw a Giants team that was really contending for a World Series. I think this next year, maybe they make a move forward and make the playoffs. They have some pieces in place. They got to keep moving, wheeling and dealing, and building this team. Remember, the Warriors won many championships, but it took 3 to 4 years of drafting properly, drafting Draymond Green, drafting Klay Thompson, already having Curry in place for a year or two before that. There is a lot that goes into building a team that is strong enough to sustain championship mentality for multiple years, okay, guys? And sometimes teams get lucky and they win one, but you want to see a team that continues to win year after year. And the way that works is with a really good, savvy front office and patience, okay? And all of us out there need to be patient if we want to see teams, our local teams win. So, yes, I'm a homer. I talk about my local Bay Area sports because those are the teams I love, and that's what I love watching. But I'm also realistic. So I really appreciate all of you for watching my podcast for those reasons. And, yeah, I'll just keep working hard at putting the podcast out, guys. We'll keep trying to expand. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.